Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast. And again, in this forecast, it's going to be a breakdown first, and then we're going to jump into the forecast as you guys requested it in this poll. So thank you for all those who voted. How many votes did we get? 202 votes out of 258 compared to 56 for just the weekly forecast only. Because I know I always want to sort of make these videos to educate you guys as well. So again, I know I don't want to sort of just give you my opinion on, oh, this is what I'm expecting. I'm sort of trying to educate you on why I'm expecting this as well, and you might be able to sort of find my pattern and the way I trade as well, and start implementing it in your own way. But pretty underwhelming week last week in terms of setups. I did try to sort of get into a buy trade, but it didn't work out. But I'm going to talk more about that on the chart. Again, FOMC price ended up just dropping. I was expecting for price to sort of move down. However, at the time, it was very hard to sort of find the top, and that's usually what happens. So I was waiting for confirmation, but we didn't get the second re-entry, but maybe we might get it this week. So it's all about patience, okay? So again, this is the free Telegram. If you guys are not in, the link is in the description. I'm sending free setups, free analysis, free trades, free, everything's all free. Okay, so what's the harm in joining? Just join, see how, if you like it. And again, don't forget, keep reacting, guys, because this is fantastic. I love to see these reactions, to see how many people are sort of engaging with the content, which is fantastic. Okay, anyway, let's switch over to the chart and let's have a look at the gold chart here. So pretty much after last week, price was around this area here just before we had that push up, and let's see, so we started off Monday around about there on the left here. So you can see we sort of consolidated. I was expecting price to sort of push down, but at the start on Monday, once, as I said on the weekly forecast, if I see price push back up again, which we had here, so Friday, if we see price push back up again, this is a sign that price will continue going up, which it did. Price then showed that bullish pressure, continued sort of its move up in terms of sort of consolidation, and then we had a big push up to 1946. Now, when I sent this setup, I was about to send a sell setup around about this sell area here. However, we had FOMC. In terms of the way the volume sort of works, as how I've seen it over the past few years, is that when we have a big, strong sort of push prior to FOMC, we usually use the FOMC volume to sort of either push price back down, or it does a full reversal sort of thing. So that's what I was looking for. If I go back to this setup here, you could see that, where are we? Let me just go here. I was expecting price to push back all these lows here that we created as liquidity, bounce off this buy zone and push back up. However, price didn't stop at 1936. It went all the way back up to around about 1940, 1950s, and then started to drop. Where's the chart gone again? Give me a quick sec. Just trying to get used to the Mac here. So here we are. Right, so price, instead of dropping from here and pushing down, you can see what it did. It sort of went all the way back up here and then decided to take all of these lows out, which is still expected. But you can see once it did fall back towards this area, it did end up bouncing off that buy zone. However, it just, I do believe that it was the jobless claims which ended up affecting it slightly, because the jobless claims came out better than expected, which is deflationary for gold. So then price should sort of push down. However, we are at an area where price is expected to sort of do a retrace, and that's exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting price to sort of retrace its FOMC move, push back up towards this area, and then come back down. And that is, it looks like that's what it's doing, right? So in terms of technicals, gold sort of holding off a buy level, but the fundamentals are just not matching it. If we had a very bad sort of outcome on that jobless claims, I would have expected this buy zone here, which I had marked up, to basically be reacted straight away on the Thursday, and we should have got a very nice clean move back up towards either 1936, 1940s, and then that would have been hitting that sell zone ready for Friday to sort of move it back down. However, we never got that, so we have to sort of wait and adapt, and that's exactly what we had to do. Adapt on the Telegram. I sent the update saying that, right, I'm not liking this trade anymore, time to exit. And you can see that price would have probably, I think when they have taken us out, it was a 1914. It would have been very close, but it was a very slow trade at the end, wasn't it? It sort of took at least a few hours, and then even the next day to only sort of move 100 pips. So we like to get those sort of impulse moves, immediate moves, which we never got. So that was pretty much in terms of like what I was expecting. I was expecting price to sort of push down, but now going into next week, I'm still optimistic that we should find some sort of, at least one setup on gold. What have we got? You can see that gold is sort of going into a wedge pattern here. It's quite slow in terms of volume because it's sort of charging up. So we're not getting those sort of free moves that gold sort of likes to do, like we had over here. Here's an example where we had an impulse move, we had the retracement back to the sell zone, and then price sort of fell down. Here we're now in a wedge pattern, so price is just going to tighten up. So I wouldn't be expecting, 200-300 pips. We would just take the 100 pips and we could still just run. So you can see prices sort of bounced off this buy zone here. We'll see where it wants to go, whether it wants to continue pushing up back up to this top part of this wedge. This again is a sell zone from the FOMC, so we could still get some sell pressure from this area. So it wouldn't be too bad to sell this area with tighter sells. And then price could sort of push it back down. This could then push price back down towards the bottom trend line, and then we need to see exactly how price reacts off this low, whether it wants to continue pushing back below these previous lows here, and then that would be a great area to sell. So that's what leads me to the weekly forecast. So there's quite a lot of things to say, but need a deep breath there. So pretty much what I'm looking for next week is to see price keep grinding up over this Monday and Tuesday. If the price wants to push back down, it doesn't matter. I won't be getting into sells yet. I'm still waiting on price getting to this area here to retest in this supply zone of the FOMC impulse. If price enters this area around about US session, that's more confirmation for me. And then I'll be entering the sells here. I'll keep you guys updated on the free Telegram. Again, we've got to take these trades. It sort of matches the strategy, but what also can happen is price could sort of still go through. Anything can happen in trading, and that's where we sort of just, as long as risk is managed, let's take every setup we possibly can. And who knows, on some of them that look like they are, not the most valid setup in terms of like structure. And when it looks like, oh, this is a risky trade, for example, those sort of trades turn out to be the best ones that you catch as snipers. Like, wow, and it gives a great feeling as well once it sort of works out. So that's exactly why we need to sort of try and get in as many trades as we can, as long as the risk is managed and it sort of matches your strategy. Then pretty much go from. But ideally, it wasn't sort of a great week in terms of setups, but we had the right idea, and that's all that matters. You can see here, price is sort of taken out the first initial setup. That's fine, we get out, but I'm still expecting price to push up. And then what exactly happened? Price pushed up from the box, right? So that's fine. So, yep, pretty much in summary, we're expecting price to sort of continue its push up towards this sell zone, and I'm looking to get into this sell at around 1940. I think it's a good area. Let's see what the risk to reward is saying on this in terms of. So if you get on a short around 1940, now that SLs around about 1946 perhaps. We'll see what the how the price action is looking at the time, what time it is, and sort of stuff like that. But if we could get a nice quick impulse up, I'd like to see price to retrace from 1940. This would be a good area to enter. I think that was a solid, entry for next week in terms of a retracement to continue. And what else? News events, we have durable goods and GDP. So not too crazy in terms of news events. So we still could have some nice technicals and no fundamentals to sort of affect it. But we like those fundamentals in terms of volume boost. Pretty much that's all I have on that. Let's have a look at US 30. We had this one set up. I think I can break this one down. Usually what US 30 likes to do is it likes to give a nice full sort of retrace on impulse moves. But I've stayed away from it for quite a while, to be honest. after the summer break. So I'm just still sort of getting myself back into the groove of things. You can see that after this impulse move down, I was expecting a nice big retracement back up, but FOMC price just dumped as it did with everything. So it doesn't matter. We go again. No money was lost, but we only just learned stuff. That's all. So let's reset the chart. If I do see anything, we'll then go with it. I think we have this impulse area here, which I'll be looking for. So the supply zone here. So if I put this as sell zone, this is a possible area where price could sort of come back up until, if it wants to sort of find some sort of support there, push back up to retrace, and then price could drop back down. This aids alongside with gold as well, right? So if you see that gold, I'm expecting gold to push up and then push down. Same thing here, US 30, push up, push down, and again, US 500, same sort of thing. A retest of this 4414 level, that'll be a nice sort of push back up to continue down. So that I'm still following this sort of hour, 4 hour time frame of a bearish trend, bearish momentum. That's what we're sort of going with next week, and pretty much I think that covers everything. So again, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not in. Free telegrams in the description below. Again, I'm sending these free setups for only I think a short period of time until I start opening my own VIP again. So yeah, let's get as many free setups out as possible, and pretty much it. It's been a waste from EEFX. Peace out.